Tensei Shitara Slime Datta Ken, WN, Chapter 218. Dagru the Destruction Incarnate, and Feldera, the King of the Storm. The similarity of their power was lightning. Dagru with his own transcendence ability could freely manipulate the electric tension between the ground and the atmosphere. Therefore, he could use various attacks with lightning, which was the strongest offensive power that the Mother Nature had. However, Feldera was the same. Feldera could circulate his own energy and naturally generate lightning. So, both of them have high lightning resistance. Hence, using lightning strike against each other was insignificant. Although it wasn't effective, both of them converted their fighting aura into lightning and fired it against each other. The result, energy with different natures colliding with each other, became a pillar of lighting which flooded the surrounding area. Dagru freely manipulated the vibration wave. If the earth was vibrated, earthquake occurred. If the atmosphere was vibrated, electrical discharge was generated. It was easy to create a vacuum wave when he manipulated the airflow intentionally. However, it didn't affect Feldera. That was a justified matter. After all, Feldera is the incarnation of storm. Dagru was well informed about that. There was no need for him to be flustered. Because both of them were longtime opponents, each of them knew well each other's character. However, as his limitation was released and became Trinity, this is the first time Dagru fought with his original form, which was the battle form. Dagru was aware that his blood was boiling with excitement. Now was the time where he'd have a showdown with Feldera, who was his longtime fated opponent. Therefore, ha 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 ha. As I expected from you, Feldera. But, I released my true power, I'd be different from before. So Dagru shouted. Becoming an Ashura, his blind spot has disappeared. Just like before, magic didn't affect him. And with hardening power, his body easily surpassed the hardness of diamond. Any kind of attacks would be repelled. For example, even if Dagru was attacked by a master with the same level as Growward with a god-class weapon, it probably wouldn't affect him. To that extent, as the current Dagru specialized in defensive power. Invincibility. That was Dagru's current state. Qua ha 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 ha. Laughable. Feldera laughed down Dagru's shout. And then, he threw thunderstorm, lightning storm roar, as it was. The compressed mass of atmosphere draws near Dagru while releasing electrical discharge. However, that superdensity attack was grabbed by Dagru with one hand and disappeared. It's useless, Feldera. Didn't I say that such superficial techniques like this would not affect me? Feldera didn't heed him. Faster than his main body, which shot the thunderstorm, Feldera's clone went behind Dagru's back. The real thing is this. Taste this, Dragon Claw. Feldera's fist, which was thrown at super high speed, was small, unlike the dragon's large body. However, the ominous claws that grew on his 6 fingers possessed sundering power, which could tear apart any kind of material in this world. Dagru's hardening power and Feldera's sundering power collided, resulting in sounds as if the world was creaking. Crash, and so, both have their arm disappeared. One of Dagru's arms, which defended against Feldera's claws, disappeared. Feldera's left hand, which accomplished the feat, has also disappeared. It was a draw. Dagruel still have 5 arms which still intact. Also, the lost arm regenerate in a moment. The one he was fighting against, Feldera also can produce clones as many as he liked with parallel existence. TCH. As ever, what an absurd strong fellow he's, the absurd one is you, Feldera. For the current me to be wounded, Feldera felt irritated as Dagruel was able to defend from his special attack. Likewise Dagruel also felt annoyed as his invincible body was damaged. Still, both of them were warming up. Likely enjoying the fight, both of their attacks became more severe. A half-hearted attack would not affect both of them. They both knew about this well, but on the other hand they couldn't bring out a big technique so suddenly. Since it was not possible to expect the opponent to be careless, it was necessary to make the chance somehow. Destruction Deva and Storm Dragon, both were equal. Like Kyozushi won in Judo, first of all, securing one's own superiority was important. It would be sheer stupidity to bring out everything in the beginning of fight. However, Feldera completely disregarded such theory. He began attacking Dagruel at once. Quahahahaha. I'll keep going. Wing Blade. Several of Feldera's clones approached Dagruel in a super high-speed flight. The wings generated vibration and turned it into a high-frequency blade. The vibrations of the two pairs of big and small wings created a death-end barrier which could tear molecular bond. Feldera's large build was covered with death-end barrier and became a huge destruction sphere. Such fiendish destruction sphere was a thing that can only be created by several clones of Feldera. Everyone attacked Dagruel at the same time. However, Dagruel didn't panic. Grassword's face turned to the front, preparing great swords on both of his hands. And then, he moved to intercept it while at the same time several of Feldera clones approaching. The speed of the great sword's edge, which length exceeded 10 m, easily surpassed the speed of sound. By each one of Dagruel's sword flash, the destruction sphere that Feldera's clones had created was negated. In other words, that means the clones were destroyed. Dagruel didn't slacken his attacks. He continued, exploding chains of the sealed destroyer prison. With Fen's face facing the front, he tried to capture Feldera using Gleipnir in his hand. With his eyes of truth, he discovered the one which have the greatest amount of energy from among the countless clones without any difficulty. No matter how many Feldera created his clones, it would be useless in front of his eyes of truth, or should it have been? Unfortunately. That just my clone. Feldera shouted, like making fool of him. In fact, any individual that get caught by Gleipnir would immediately annihilated and disappear. Since it was so quick and overdone. Oh! You, to be able to deceive my eyes. What kind of trick did you use? Phew. Oh Dagruel, even when you unleash your true power, you can't defeat me. As there's no chance for you to win. Besides, even I have grown stronger. I'd be bothered if you think I'm still the same as the old me. Feldera dodged Dagruel's question. Properly speaking, eyes of truth can't be deceived. However, with his existence probability fluctuation, it was possible for Feldera to shift himself with his clones momentarily. It was possible by manipulating parallel existence and probability manipulation at the same time, one of his secret technique. In addition of those two, It also utilized space manipulation, or so Rimuru, Seal, had explained it to him about the ability, but Feldera ignored it. Even if he didn't completely understand the fine details, there was no problem because he mastered how to use it instinctively, so Feldera thought. For such reason, it was true that he can't give an explanation about it. On the contrary, in case he understood it, he would be boastfully explaining about it. It could be said that it was good that Feldera didn't really comprehend it. Adding another thing for Feldera's credit, it was not because his comprehensive ability that was lacking, it just that the theory behind it was too difficult. Even if he was able to understand and mastered it instinctively, it was not possible for him to explain it to other person with words. Because Dagruel wasn't expecting Feldera to give him the answer, he continued his words, not caring about it. What, no chance to win, you said? What a nonsense you talked about. But it seems to be true that you're different from the old time. If I can't see where your main body are, then I shall erase all of your clones at the same time. While talking, he created a convenient situation for himself. It also one of fighting techniques. Even a strong person of Dagruel's caliber wouldn't ignore such petty tricks. Instead, he thought that obtaining a bit of superiority even by using such petty technique was a big matter. He calmly activated Space Grasp and the range of his interference wave expanded. After he confirmed that it wasn't Feldera's clone and he wasn't hiding using Eyes of Truth, he cut out the dimension, creating an isolated space. In this space, there were only Dagruel and Feldera. Also, all of Feldera's clones, in order to eliminate them together at the same time. Mew. I got you, Feldera. Eat this. Quasar Break 2. A great earthquake shook this cut-out space. The inside of the space was filled with super-dimensional vibration with Dagruel as its epicenter. Irreversible, interfering destructive waves were generated and emitting invisible lights. Dagruel consumed 60% of his energy to bring forth absorption light rays. Dagruel converted his own body into a pseudo-black hole, absorbing and destroying all matters inside the space. At that time, because of the generated friction which exceeding the isolation space, dazzling light begun to overflow. No matter what kind of life form, if they receive the interference of this overwhelmingly high energy concentration, it might be impossible for them to preserve their own existence. Not just disintegrated, they would be swallowed into the black hole and disappear. However, the majority of the absorbed energy was used by Dagruel to maintain his own existence. It didn't mean that Dagruel can absorb everything, so as a special attack, it can't be used continuously. Dagruel had the conviction on his special attack, and checked the result. The completely isolated space that Dagruel created closed together when he absorbed the radiated light rays. However, it seemed that some distortion remained in the dimension, even affecting the real world. It could be said as a scar of transcendental destruction, although it would assimilate with the surroundings and return to normal once time flows. There should be no one who able to survive that attack. Tha, that just now is very dangerous, you know. Dagruel was astonished with his eyes wide opened. Impossible. You able to survive that? Dagruel shouted due to the rest of the shock. It was his strongest attack that should eliminate anyone completely. For Dagruel to be surprised was normal. In the isolated space, there was no escape. Yet, for Feldera to survive after receiving the direct hit should be impossible. But, it's a fact that Feldera survived. Kaha, quahahaha. So, something like this isn't a big deal for me. When you observe him carefully, Feldera was not unharmed. His wings were tattered, and his whole body was injured all over. He just pretended to be okay. In fact, he was not completely evading the attack just now. Making good use of ultimate skill Chaotic Lord Nyarlathotep, Feldera thinned his existence probability to the utmost limit, and was barely able to evade the interference wave of the destructive energy. However, several of the clones failed in evasion, they were all annihilated. It's a terrifying technique, and if Feldera was even a bit late, Feldera would be definitely destroyed. Feldera integrated all of his remaining clones and checked the current situation. His remaining energy currently was at 50%, he included the amount that was lost to Shin. I consumed a lot. However, it's all according to the calculation. Gruel and Feldera were almost even. Feldera had about 30% of his energy taken by Shin before the fight began. Therefore, to overturn the disadvantageous situation, it was necessary to make Dagruel wasted his. The current situation of the amount of their remaining energy are, Feldera at 50% against Dagruel with 40%. A reversal. However, it was good because he succeeded in the gamble, the probability of his survival was very small against the attack. Feldera gambled that he could evade it with ultimate skill Chaotic Lord Nyarlathotep. Feldera had won the gamble. In the first place, even if he lose the gamble, he act with the prediction that there was no doubt that he could be regenerated by Rimuru. If I know that it's possible for me to regenerate, I'm not going to be scared of any dangerous battle. Quahahaha. Feldera laughed loudly with his true feelings that can't be let out. This was exactly the reason why Feldera said Dagruel had no chance to win against him. Do you know? If you make one mistake, you could be annihilated and won't be able to regenerate it? Why you don't focus on defense? Without doing any risky gamble, if you focused yourself on defense with all of your power, you could avoid it getting annihilated. Even I didn't think that I can deliver the final blow on you who become unable to fight. Why you need to wager your life for Ruminas and humans? Humph. That aside, Dagruel. Why do you need to obey Velda's order? That person is not my older brother. That may be so. But, his aura, was without doubt, Velda Navasama's. That's enough. I live to serve that person. Laughable. For you to work hard for an impostor, you're not worthy of the reputation of destruction god. Shut up, Feldera. I won't forgive you if you mock that person even if you're his younger brother. Dagruel boosted his fighting aura. Then, he turned small from his about 15m large body in a flash. Dagruel became around 3m in size. However, lightning flashed from his body, super compressed energy could be felt. Mew. Fo-ha-ha-ha-ha. It was you who taught me, Feldera. When you control your anger, further power can be gained, or so Feldera recalled those words. Come to think of it, he had talked with Dagruel about the knowledge of the Holy Book, manga. Just from that bit of information, Dagruel had splendidly sublimated it to actual combat level. Compressing himself, the density of Dagruel's energy seemed to be tremendous. Size is power, but he would be at disadvantage with the way things are going. Felderer realized so. Good grief, for you to learn to control that far. As expected from Dagruel. However, I will not be defeated. Felderer also compressed his energy and transformed into human form, as a response to Dagruel. The unordinary melee fight begun. Dagruel's fist sunk into Felderer's abdomen. At the same time, Felderer's elbow hit Dagruel's face. Their fight lasts several hours, neither of them yielding to the other. A kick for a kick, a fist for a fist. Each other's attacks will be countered with the same attack. Instead of fighting firmly on the ground, the places of their battle were changing one after another. From the sky to the ground. And blowing off the surroundings, to the desert. And again to the sky high. Sometimes outside the atmosphere. For both of them who are masses of energy, the battlefield was same whether they go. With their own body as the launch pad, they driven super compressed energy to the opponent. And then, splendidly discharging the received energy out of their body, they prevented fatal injury. It was important to suppress one's own energy loss while making the opponent waste theirs. Each of their attacks intersected, properly speaking, with the power of their blow. Even high-class Majin would be blown into oblivion. Although they were causing large damage on the surroundings, both of them already stopped caring. A fierce battle that seemed to last forever. However, Felderer continued to wait for the opportunity. With his training with Zijin and Ultima, and guidance of the strong people in the labyrinth. In addition, his combat experience with Feldrind and Rimuru had made Felderer grew stronger by one level. Close quarters combat was the best combat technique for Felderer. I thought that I was a master, but it seems I still have a long way to go. I'll say it once again, Dagruel. Stop obeying that impostor. You're so stubborn, Felderer. My loyalty won't change even if he died. Is that so? I'm so disappointed, Dagruel. I shall end you with my strongest secret technique. Dagruel tensed to Felderer's words. However, it was already too late. Felderer had already completed his preparation. Felderer activated his ability. That moment, the surroundings are covered with prismatic darkness 3. Engulfing a vast area that even covered the region of the Death Desert of Holy Kingdom Riberio's territory. Fertile paradox. For Felderer muttered in small voice. Inside the prismatic darkness, a cruel miracle manifested.